Yo, it's Friday night, 9 p.m. sharp. You know what time it is.
Narcocop and Tim Troiano hitting you with that Lambo energy.
He's Mike by name, but the streets call Narcocop. Used to bust dealers, now he's busting long shots. Retired badge, now he's bad with the bets. Octagon fiend, cashing slips, no regrets. Friday night fight, Seki poured on ice. Lambo Plays podcast, breaking down the price. Got parlays, KO, subs in round 3. Split decision magic, cash it like a G. Lambo Plays, it's a wild parade. Long shots flying, getting that paid. Tim with impressions, Narco's got the locks. Whisper bet of the week, gonna shock your socks. Lambo Plays, the odds go cray. Spin that wheel, it's a betting ballet. KO's a B, round 2 or 3. Hit that split, cashing big, LFG. Tim Troiano, lotion in hand. Tennis coach by day, fight fan of the land. Watching WMMA, yeah, you know the drill. Playing with himself, just joking, but still. Impressions fly, Katona in the house. Roses Jr. squeaking, Tim's loud like a mouse. Cornholio vibes, he's stealing the show. Narcos like bruh, but they still go toe to toe. Round 2 chaos, round 3 gold. Split decisions, bets unfold. Side case sipping, parlays lit. Lambo energy, never quit. Lambo Plays, it's a wild parade. Long shots flying, getting that paid. Tim with impressions, Narco's got the locks. Whisper bet of the week, gonna shock your socks. Lambo Plays, the odds go cray. Spin that wheel, it's a betting ballet. KOSOB, round 2 or 3. Hit that split, cashing big, LFG. Narcocop, Timmy T, Friday nights, a Lambo Plays podcast. Where long shots live large, and splits hit harder. We out. We out. We out.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Narcocop MMA. This is the Lambo Plays podcast, episode 149, UFC Rio. We are in Brazil this week. We have a 12-fight card. We had one fight falling out here with Walter Walker, Muhammad Usman. Usman decided to, go to the doctor and get a lot of tests prior to this fight. He needed it. He said, hey, this is the thing. He said, if Walter Walker can use steroids, so can I. So he went over there. He shot himself up with a bunch of tests. And yeah, he tested positive for too much of it. So apparently that's why the fight fell out. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know. I didn't think the UFC said that, but they said that, from what I read, they said high testosterone level. So they did scrap that fight. We did have a weight miss. We do have some other things going on here on this card. There's a lot to talk about here on this card. So let me go over to the chat. Shout out my chat. Elijah One says LFG, let's effing go. Dixon says, Narco, if you and Tim would like some fast food for tonight's show, just know that Patchy Mix will make sure McDonald's are made fresh to order. He may not win a UFC fight, but he can cook.
I laughed so hard when I saw that fucking picture the first time. It has absolutely made me laugh so hard.
That decision, I did think he won. Honestly, I thought he won, and it was a little over 4K swing for me because of that decision. But,
yeah, it was shit. I mean, that fight was. I mean, he deserves to work. And like,
I went back and watched it, and I thought he won. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought so too. I
kind of think the UFC might hate this guy or something, or they're trying to make a point that Bellator fighters suck or something. I don't even understand. But yeah, I thought he won. But did he look good? Absolutely not. Like, he was getting mostly out grappled by this guy, which is insane. Mushroom, what's up, Narco? 18 hours, 53 minutes, and 23 seconds until violence. I like it. He got the seconds in. this time. Sharp Boy, what's up? Good luck in Rio tomorrow. Back to the favelas with the boys. Max bet on Lucas Almeida. Yeah, sure. You could do it. Azure, ready to roll. Thank you, Narco and Tim. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. Craig Crowley, what's up, my friend? Eric Albright, amazing picture by Dixon. Yeah, that picture is hilarious. DA07 says, Tim is hitting Lambo Parlay before the end of the year. I can feel it. I'll be there to hear the come on screamed from the Discord to the heavens. There you go, Tim. Double flush, let's cash these bets. Yes, sir. Who's watching LFA 219? I got a couple of bets on LFA 219, so I'm not going to be watching, but hopefully it goes well. Fresh Gambles, what's good, my friend? Thank you for joining as well. Who do we have here? Jackie Blaine, Timmy T, and Narco C on the TV. Waggle getting seared, Whispers getting cheered. Let's effing go. Damn, he's gonna do one for us here. Shout out to Daz Files, $25 dono, cashed out Chase on parlays, bet Yana decision. Thanks. And a bundle on Luke KO. Oh, that Luke KO won Dana White's Contender Series. Thank you for bringing it up, Daz. I said it on my show. Brandon asked me, are you going to take under half a round if they give it? I said, absolutely. Matter of fact, I said, I will take under 1 minute in that fight. I should have said I would take under half a minute because that would have been even bigger hot take, but they don't offer that, Tim. So I couldn't get that. But yeah, I made a shit ton on that fight. That was a good one. That was a good one-sided beating. How could they not find a Brazilian to fight Walter? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they can't find him. Somebody to get heel hooked, you know? All they got to do is go in there and 15 seconds, just tap right away when they're in a heel hook. And a paycheck. They get a paycheck and they get into the UFC. I don't get it. I have no idea how that doesn't happen. God's masterpiece. What's up, my friend? Londo says high T is the best base for MMA. Yeah, it might be. It might be. Match predictions. Narco, is that a Lambo podcast cap? See it? It's a Ferrari cap. Let's effing go, says D-Jib. What's up, my friend? Gabriel, what's up? Look at D-Jib doing the damn thing, reposting us on X so more people can come in. We got 180 people. I mean, we have to get to at least 500 today. I mean, we're going to be cooking. I was in the kitchen cooking today for this card to bring up some interesting props. So we'll see what happens. Smash the like. Thank you very much, SC for all. Appreciate you. Londo says he's betting on Petersen and Alekseeva tomorrow. Oh my God. Alekseeva. Oh God, my stomach is turning. Alekseeva? I mean, Petersen I can stomach, but goddamn Alekseeva, I cannot stomach betting her, man. I really cannot. Philly Joel, what's up, my friend? I need 100K this week, and only that's it. Oh, that's reasonable. Fuck, 100Ks. It's in the works, bro. It's in the works. All right, Tim. Let's start out here. First fight of the night. It is in the bantamweight division / the featherweight division / whatever division Simon Oliveira wants it to be in. It is the 34-year-old Simon Oliveira coming in at 5'4", a 72-inch reach, 18-6 record. Simon, Mr. Oliveira, missed weight by 8 big pounds. He got 50% of his purse taken. So I think the UFC seems to be upping these penalties. And I've said this before. It should be an automatic point deduction. You miss weight, 1 point off to start the fight. By you getting an advantage by not making weight, right? Because you're heavier than your opponent, you start out with the disadvantage on the cards and you're minus 1 point. How about that? Because in a lot of countries, they do that. So mainly in like the Russian regions over there, you miss weight, you get deducted right away. So I think he should be deducted a point, this guy, outside of just the 50% fine. On the other side, we got Luan Lacerda, 32 years old, 5'7", 72-inch reach as well, with a 12-3 record. Lacerda coming off a long layoff here, Tim. Yeah, what can you muster here between Simon Oliveira, Luan, Lacerda?
I thought you were going to take it because then I would have the women's MMA next. I was prepared for that. I didn't know if you were
all right, I'll take it. I didn't even think of that. I really didn't think of that. Yeah, you're right. On that note, you are right, because you will also get Mesquita and Alekseeva at the same time. So you're going to get two women's fights. Yeah, that should be. Just, yeah, so I'll start it off here. Yes. So Simon Oliveira, not a really impressive UFC run here. 0-3 in the UFC, been finished in his last two. Not really competitive in many of his fights, man. He's not been competitive at all. Just getting cooked in these fights. Gravely fight, I guess semi-competitive because he had guillotines, but he was getting taken down like nothing. So he also lost that fight pretty convincingly. And when I watch this guy, Tim, Muay Thai style, lots of spinning stuff, a lot of spinning back fists, spinning kicks, all types of elbows, spinning elbows, a lot of bullshit, basically, stuff that you don't want to see from a fighter. You would think that a guy with 24 fights, fought in the UFC multiple times now, would stop doing this spinning shit that doesn't work 99.9% of the time. And yet you go back and watch last fight against David Martinez, and he's doing the same shit again. He's spinning back fist, spinning elbow, spinning this, spinning that. So the guy doesn't have good takedown defense. The guy can't really offensively wrestle. He has some decent power, I would say. And I guess his best attributes are probably his knees and his elbows and stuff like that. He's a Muay Thai guy. But he's also a black belt in jiu-jitsu. And, his guillotine does look pretty dangerous. I mean, a lot of his wins are via guillotine, and you could see it against Gravely. Like, he had a couple of deep ones in there. But he's facing like a really, really good grappler in Lacerda. This guy is a, 2-3 stripe black belt, trained at a very high level. I think he trained with Aldo for a very long time. But the issue I have with Lacerda is that he's taken almost 2.5 years off. I have no idea what's going on. Why? I saw something about an injury, but man, 2.5 years off from the UFC is a long time. And, I think both of these guys are on their last straw, Tim. Lacerda 0-2, Simon Oliveira 0-3. Lacerda with this long layoff, I doubt they give him another fight if he loses here. But I do think like he has the better process, right? Like he has very good kicks. I'll give him that. I don't think his hands are very good, but he uses his kicks at range well. And then, the thing that he does best is grapple. If he gets the fight to the mat, he's super dangerous on the ground. Very, very dangerous. And if you look at his career, he has a lot of different submissions: triangle, anaconda, armbar, guillotine, rear naked choke, heel hook. So that tells you this guy is very versed with all different types of subs. He's really good on the ground. He's very dangerous on the ground. But I will say that Simon Oliveira, he's never been subbed. He's faced some really good grapplers as well. The one that comes to mind right off the bat is Ari Farias, world champion, very, very good black belt, had a lot of top 10 in a very, very bloody fight, and never could find the submission against Oliveira. Oliveira is also a black belt. So, with the weight miss, Tim, this guy not making weight, not really cutting, he's going to have kind of a size advantage, a little bit here because, dude, 8 pounds, just not shedding 8 pounds is a lot. The UFC did tell him he cannot come in more than 155 on fight night. So he only has like 9 pounds or 11 pounds to hydrate. That's it. He cannot go over the 155 mark. So they probably will come in around the same weight. on fight night, so there shouldn't be a big advantage for Oliveira. But the fact that he didn't have to drain himself, to get to 135, Lacerda for sure drained himself, to get there. Guy's been out for so long too. So, but at the end of the day, Lambo play, right? We're talking about a Lambo play here, and the Lacerda sub to me is very low. I do think he can get it, but like at plus 130, I just don't think the price is right, in my opinion, because Oliveira, he's never been subbed at the end of the day. He's faced really good grapplers. So how I'm looking at it is I think Lacerda lands even the better shots on the feet. I think Lacerda could have some success with takedowns, some minute winning. I'm going to poke Lacerda by decision at plus 450 on Bet Online. I think, I feel like is a little bit of value on that prop there at plus 450 on Luan Lacerda, who, by the way, has been to decision, and he's 2-1 in those decisions. His only loss was to Stamen, and it was questionable. Honestly, it was a very, very close decision. I thought he won on rewatch. I thought he won that fight, but they gave it to Cody Stamen. He should probably be 3-0. So yeah, I like minute winning from Lacerda and Oliveira to make a lot of stupid mistakes on the feet.
We are in complete agreement on this one. Yeah, I just think that I feel the same way about Simon Oliveira. I feel like he's gilly takedown defense, gets him taken down a ton. Striking is just flashy trash. And then spinning shit gets him taken down, gets his back taken. But I like 24 fights, guys, really not many people are even sniffing sub attempts against him. So I feel like the only way a sub happens is if he's death gassing in this fight, maybe in round 3. So I like Lacerda points in round 3 as well. Round 3 is plus 700, but I like the points way more. I already played it at plus 420 on FanDuel, and now it's like plus 380 on FanDuel. But you can get, as you said, BetOnline's got plus 450. So yeah, I like the decision prop a decent amount for Luan here. I feel like he's got all the minutes, and then he's basically got to stay away from the guillotine, which could happen because he got guillotined in his last fight. So, I think that Luan by points is the way to go. I think it's a pretty good line.
Yeah, I mean, round 3, I could see round 3 for Lacerda, honestly. I think his cardio is fine. If he's not going for knee bars and heel hooks like he did against Blackshear, where he got stuck on bottom and got battered. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Round 3, I guess it's interesting. Round 3. What's the price though?
Plus 700. Not too good.
Yeah, no freaking way. That's terrible. Don't play that.
Yep.
No, that's a terrible round 3 line. Like, no way. For Luan Lacerda, round 3 plus 700, it's insane.
Yeah, I would hope for like 11-1, 12-1, to be honest, or better.
At least, I think at least, yeah. He's not like a huge, round 3 finisher.
He's got 0 KOs, so it's, I mean, like he's not a heavy ground and pound finisher either, and he's definitely doesn't have hands on the feet, so it's got to be a sub.
Yeah, they're both subs. Anaconda armbar. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it.
Yeah, I like points way more.
All right, let's move on. Fight number 2. It is in the strawweight division. It is Karolina Kowalkiewicz, 39 years old, 5'3", 64-inch reach with a 16-9 record versus Julia Polastri, 27-year-old, 5'2", 63-inch reach and a 13-5 record. Tim, you can kick this one off. It is a very good Lotion fight.
This is definition of a Lotion fight. We got somebody that's 9 years younger than me. She's going to be 8 years younger than me in next week. So, I got a chance with Karolina. And Julia Polastri also definitely Lotion worthy. So this fight, Lotion will be out. Stylistically, I just feel like Polastri's pretty safe in this fight. I think that Karolina's kind of split decision win, is pretty much her win equity, I think, here. Polastri is a dangerous Muay Thai fighter. She can get I feel like she's got grappling edge in this fight as well. Takedown it, just any type. I mean, just better wrestling, better physicality, better jiu-jitsu. But she's kind of like a brawler on the feet. She wants some danger and she wants some violence to happen, and she's not afraid to go after you. I feel like there's only one fight that I taped that she fought a little bit cautiously. I think it was either her debut or Dana White Contender Series. I can't remember which one, if she was Dana White Contender Series or not, but I know it was like one of her early fights that she seemed like a little bit passive. It was the only time I noticed that she was passive in a fight. I feel like she ran up on Luque, and I mean, Luque was shitting her pants in round 3 in that fight. I feel like this fight is a inside the distance KO for Polastri, round 2, round 3 plays for me. I feel like it's not going to be like easy to get Carolina out of there. She's very tough, but could see like mercy stoppage, could see cut stoppage. I just feel like this could be a retirement fight. You never know. She's been fighting. She's been fighting like her last few fights, Carolina, that is, just fighters that are good matchups for her. She's also gotten subbed and finished by 2 fighters that their only finishes in the UFC were her. So I just feel like there's chances for subs. There's chances for KOs. If there's a takedown for her, but I kind of feel like Polastri's going to just beat the shit out of her on the feet and even in the clinch. So yeah, I like the KO prop. I like the round 2, round 3. And I like the inside the distance for Polastri. I think that they're all good lines. I feel like she can get a finish, even though Carolina.
Which one do you want, Tim? Which one do you like most?
Round 2, round 3, and KO. I would go for.
So KO 2-3.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, I already bet ITD and KO. And I'm gonna bet 2-3. So I've bet all.
KO 2-3 17-1. So
yeah, I like the KO and the KO 2-3 for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Carolina 39, right? Like I do think she's very durable. I do think she's tough. Going back and watching Diniz Gomes landed some big shots. She landed actually a head kick in that fight, and Carolina took it really well. But for whatever reason in that fight, Diniz Gomes clinched a lot. She was a lot of clinching, I don't know why. She normally doesn't do that. I think if she separated, she probably could do a lot more damage and potentially maybe get a finish in that fight. Maybe not, but Lucindo got on top in pretty good positions, but couldn't really finish. And then the other matchups prior to that were pretty good matchups, for Carolina. The one thing with Julia is she looked great against Luque in round 3, but she also looked the opposite in round 3 against Corey McKenna. And, she's kind of, wishy-washy, man. She's not a very, how could I say it? She's not very, what do they say? Consistent. She's not very consistent. And, Knudsen fight, she's kind of getting lit up in that fight on the feet. Knudsen's a good striker, though, so I won't falter there. But the McKenna fight, like, she had McKenna hurt, man, a couple of times to the body. And it's like no killer instinct, or she didn't know she had hurt her body. I don't get it. Like, she had chances to finish McKenna, and then in round 3, she got taken down and basically lost the round against Corey McKenna, right? So, yeah, it's like Carolina, can she get finished? Sure. She's been finished, right? She's been finished 3 times, but is Polastri going to do it? That's the thing. And when I look at props here, that's the only thing I can fucking look at, honestly. There's nothing that I really like. Other than round 2, round 3 is like maybe it's, mercy stoppage. Maybe it's something like that, right? Like maybe she just puts it on Carolina and Carolina's like, fuck it. I'm 39. I'm going to be 40. Why should I take this beating? And just maybe even the ref stops it, right? So The thing is, I don't think Polastri hits that hard, honestly. Like Denise Gomes, I think hits way harder than her. So yeah, I mean, again, 2-3 is 1,000 and 1,400. It's not great prices for women's MMA. It really isn't. It's not very good. You're talking about 115, straw weights. How many times do we see straw weights get a finish in 2-3? Almost never, honestly. So, yeah, I mean, the price kind of sucks, but at the end of the day, one girl's 39, one girl's 27. She's fighting in Brazil. Maybe that gives her a little extra motivation. The other thing I hate about Polastri, and I just don't understand, she only trains with her husband and boyfriend or whatever, and that's her trainer, and that's her training partner, dude, which is mind-boggling. She doesn't train with other girls. Like, and they said something about, oh, she trains with her husband. If I can grapple against my husband who's 200 pounds or whatever, then another woman is at 115 is super easy.
Yeah, it's unrealistic.
But it's like, is he really going that hard against you at 200 pounds? I doubt it. Like he'd smash you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's just stupid. I don't think it's very good for a young 27-year-old. She has, a lot of experience, 18 fights. Why are you not getting other looks? Why are you training in this? And her husband owns, it's like the basement of a house. It's an actual gym with other kids. They don't really have real fighters, I think, other than her. It's called CWB, but it's like his house in a basement. And he has like mat. Half of it is mats. Half of it is tile. It's fucking weird. But yeah, it's just one of those things. Like, I think she can get a lot better, I think, if she just moved somewhere, like, why are you training with nobody? Like, it just doesn't make sense. But yeah, anyways, at the end of the day, it's 2-3 for me, 1,000, 1,400. It could be sub, but I think it's KO if it happens. I like I said, I think it's maybe more like volume overwhelming her, maybe hitting some knees in the clinch, hurting Carolina in the clinch type of deal.
You like Carolina by split at 14-1?
I mean, I could see Carolina I honestly could see her getting takedowns. She can get takedowns, like body lock takedowns for sure. I don't know if she's going to do much with them, but she can get them. Fight number 3. It is in the bantamweight division. Excuse me. It's the 24-year-old Lucas Rocha, 5'3", 64-inch reach at 17-2 record versus the 30-year-old Stuart Nicoll, 5'5", 65-inch reach, 8-1. I will kick this one off. Rocha, still very young, 25 years old. Lots of MMA experience, dude. And we're talking about 19 fights at 25 years old. And when you go back and look at his career, he's fought good guys. He's fought good regional guys in Brazil. Has some really good wins. Has a bad loss against Alan Gabriel. I thought that was a bad knockout loss in 2019. But he was 19 years old. The thing is, I can forgive guys for losing very early in their career like that. 19, 18, 20, you're going to make a mistake. You're going to be more timid, whatever it may be. You're young. But as he's progressed, he's looked better and better. He has taken a year off here after the Clayton Carpenter fight where, Clayton busted him up bad with an elbow in the clinch. He was cut really bad. Eventually taken down and submitted in round 2. He did land a very good knee in that fight, a very good timing on a knee against Clayton, hurt him in I think it was round 2 before the takedown. So this guy's timing of his strikes is really good, man. He's a really good technical striker, very fluid inside out, very, very fast. He's a little small for the division, honestly. I think this guy can fight at, flyweight. I don't understand why this guy is fighting at. Actually, this is flyweight. What am I saying? I'm an idiot. Why did I put bantamweight up there? This is flyweight. What the heck am I saying? I take that back. Yeah, It's flyweight. I was gonna say, why is this guy fighting at bantamweight? But yeah, like his opponent, Stuart Nicoll, like fighting in Australia there. Here's the thing. He's making it, he's coming into the UFC. He's 30 years old, right? He didn't earn his way into the UFC, by the way, right? Like he didn't earn it. Like he got it because there was a card in Australia. They needed a guy there, and they put this guy in. Because the reason why I say he didn't earn it is he didn't beat anybody on the regional scene in Australia. All these guys that he's beaten are no good, man. They're not good fighters. And to top it all off, Tim, in Australia, they have different promotions. They have Eternal. They have the other one. I forgot the name of it. But he's fighting in a promotion called Beatdown Promotions that no one's ever heard of. Like, it's just, there's nobody there. It's like a shit promotion, If you're that good, why are you not fighting on Eternal? Why are you not fighting on the other ones? Like you're fighting on one Hex. There you go. Glenbot said a Hex. Why are you fighting in this shit Beatdown Promotions against nobodies? So that's the thing with this guy. He's been 5 rounds. His cardio is fine. His grappling, his jiu-jitsu, I would say is fine. But I don't think he has great wrestling. I don't think, I've seen him get reversed against this Jamie Renouf guy who's now 4-4. He got reversed like 3 times. When he had the guy's back, he got reversed. The guy was on top of him. So there is some red flags. And then last fight against Aguilar, he looked good early, right? He looked good early, got Aguilar down, got his back. But again, he got reversed. He fell off, right? He fell off right into a guillotine. And what's weird is the guillotine was locked in. Then it was readjusted where he wasn't even fighting hands. I don't know what he was doing. And he got submitted by Jesus. And Jesus has a nasty guillotine. Don't get me wrong. It's very good. It's nasty. Rocha has shown that he can get taken down. But honestly, like, if these other guys are reversing and getting up, a lot of these guys were getting up against him. I don't see any reason why Rocha cannot reverse or get up or scramble. His scrambling is not bad. It's once you get the body triangle maybe on him, he's stuck. Other than that, his scrambling is actually really good. He'll scramble back up, and he's quick. And I think he's going to have a huge speed advantage here against Stuart Nicoll, who I don't really like his striking, Stuart Nicoll. I don't think his striking is very good. At the end of the day, the thing with Stuart Nicoll is I have no idea with his durability. Like, he could have a really good chin. He could have a shit chin. You can't really tell from the tape, of the guys he's fought. But I'm going to go with Rocha decision here. It's still at the end of the day flyweights. Rocha decision is plus 550. Rocha's been to decision 3 times, and he's 3-0. So, yeah, I'm just taking a shot on decision where hopefully Stuart Nicoll is a bit more durable than I know. Like, I don't know, right? So hopefully he is durable on the feet. But yeah, I think Rocha should win. More experience, better level of competition. He's younger. You should see more improvements. He also moved gyms to shoot box with Oliveira. So I do think going from the gym that he was at to this gym is a lot better for him because there's a ton of flyweights and bantamweights there to train with. Really good guys. So yeah, I like Rocha here. I think you're going to see improvements with the year-long layoff and training with good guys. So I like Rocha here. I think he wins this fight, hopefully by decision.
Yeah, I have the same thing. I also have Nicoll by sub because I think that's his path. I feel like they've messed up on the decision prop and the KO prop for the decision prop for Nicoll, and I feel like the Rocha KO prop are kind of mispriced. Like, could he obviously knock out Nicoll? Yeah, for sure. I think he's got good power. He's got some clean striking. He's hurt a lot of guys. And we, like you said, we just don't know what, Stuart Nicoll's chin is like. We don't know what his durability is like. It really hasn't been tested. So I think that both of those lines could be off. And I feel like the Nicoll sub line at plus like 420 is a good line for him. I feel like that's more of his money line in this fight. Like he's gonna go aggressive. Like most of the mistakes that he's making are him being over aggressive, trying to pass and get in position to get subs. He's not like a lay and pray type of dude. So I feel like that's where he makes his mistakes. I also would say it's narrative based, but it's like, I mean, if the UFC really had any belief in this guy whatsoever, wouldn't they have just had him fucking stay in Australia and fight in Perth? Like, it's just like, now that's like the ultimate fuck you from the UFC. It's like, no, you're not going to fight in Perth, but we're going to have you fly to fucking Brazil 3 weeks later. Yeah, I just feel like that's a tough ask for anybody. Interesting to see how he reacts to that. Going to be against the crowd. Got a huge jet lag going, flying for almost a full day. So I mean, it's pretty fucking tough. It's pretty tough asks. Then he goes into the ring and he's got to take this guy down and keep him down for 15 minutes. So yeah, I'm with you. I think Rocha points plus 550. His split decision is plus 1600. And then the sub for Nicoll, I think, is a good line too at plus 420.
Yeah. There's really, I mean, like Nicoll, honestly, is like, we don't know. He could be a complete bum, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, just because he took Aguilar down doesn't mean Aguilar can get taken down by anybody. His takedown defense is not good. You know what I'm saying?
Rule.
Huh?
Except for
Luis Garul even try to take him down? I don't even think he tried to take him down.
Yeah, he didn't try to do anything in that fight, actually.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we really don't know. Stuart Nicoll could be really good, and maybe he made a mistake last fight and got caught with a guillotine, but it could also be really bad, and so yeah, I mean, I could see it going both ways. What's injury did Stewart have in February? Does anyone know? I thought I looked it up and I can't remember what it was. I want to say it was a shoulder injury, but I'm not 100% sure. I want to say it was a shoulder injury that he pulled out of the fight. So yeah, he's also been over a year. He's been out of the cage longer than Lucas Rocha. And the crazy part with him is like, at least Lucas Rocha, went 2 rounds, with in that fight. Like his fight was it was like half a round. It was done. So yeah. Let's move. Oh, Nicoll had kidney stones there. Is that fucking bullshit or what? Like Dixon, I don't know if that, I think he's making that shit up. I don't believe that.
He's got to switch the picture again. He can't go with that picture. We got to get back to Patchy and the McDonald's app. You better know.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on. Fight number 4. It is in a bantamweight division. It is the 34-year-old Beatriz Mesquita, 5'4", 66-inch reach, and a 5-0 record versus the 35-year-old Irina Alekseeva, 5'8", 66-inch reach, and a 5-3 record. Tim, I mean, this is the thing with you that I don't understand. Last week there was a fight. You said, it's not lotion worthy. That girl's not. And then I see you post that you think this is lotion worthy. Can you fucking explain this to me?
No, this one? No, I posted the other one was the lotion.
No, you put Beatrice something. I saw it.
I'm not sure. Maybe Beatrice only, but the Chia Pet hair.
You put Beatrice. I'm like, hold on a second. Time out. I'm like, last week he said no to that other girl, the girl from Australia, but you're saying yes to Beatrice? Come on now. You're killing me.
Yeah, the thing too is like the Irina Alekseeva topology picture. It's like, why is this girl going Chia Pet haircut, like full soul glow on top? Like, what is she doing here? Yeah, it's ridiculous. It just shows her. It shows her hair IQ is correlated with fight IQ. I'm for sure. I'm a big believer in this.
Did you see what she did at ceremonial weigh-ins?
No.
Oh my god, she's goofy, man.
Yeah, she seems to be a little bit out there mentally.
She's definitely out there.
Yeah, I mean, I will say this. I feel like there is going to be a really, really good fade spot on Beatrice in future fights. Like I think she's got amazing jiu-jitsu. That's clear as day. This fucking chick subbed fucking Dern in like 2018. Like she's real deal no gi, real deal gi. Like she's fucking really, really good on the mat and with jiu-jitsu. Her striking, I mean, albino belt striking, like just absolutely nothing on the feet. Doesn't really know what the fuck she's doing. Her wrestling on the cage is just so-so. Her takedowns in the middle of the ring are a little bit better. I just feel like it's not like I feel like she's gonna be one of those fighters that we've seen this before, where they're just jiu-jitsu specialists and they can't get fights to the ground and then they get their ass kicked. And she's had that happen in fights before where she hasn't been able to get fights down the ground. She gets, she's losing a fight and then she gets up kicked and then she just basically quits. And then wins a DQ. Like she's gonna be like on a list of like, matchup dependent. A fighter that has some physicality and a fighter that has some takedown defense that's a decent strikers. We mentioned Luque last week, and that type of matchup where you're just like, just give me that all day against a fighter like this. Keep the fight on the feet and just tune her up. I don't think Alekseeva is that at all. She gets taken down by a lot of different people. I think she's going to probably be dumb enough to engage in that and try to go to the clinch and try to do a hip toss and get her back taken and then just get rear naked choked. So yeah, round one for me, round two, plus 210, plus 380. I feel like she gets her out of there in the first 10 minutes, probably. It's probably takedown and round, guarantee takedown and round, possibly takedown and finish. So yeah, I don't think if she gets taken down, I don't think Arena's getting up, possibly getting finished on the first time. So yeah, I think this is perfect matchup for Mesquita to get into.
I think if Irina gets taken down, she's going to roll for a knee bar or some kind of heel hook, get put in like a crazy bad spot and just get pounded out. The one thing I do like about Mesquita is she does, when she advances to like mountain stuff, she throws good ground and pound, nasty elbows. I really like that about her. Being a girl from jiu-jitsu, a lot of these girls are just hunting subs. She's throwing ground and pound, which I like that. I like to see that. I like to see a girl throwing in ground and pound because it's just going to open up the subs more because it's going to give their opponent more to think about. And in her last fight, and she pounded the girl out. Alekseeva has shown, some idiotic decision making in the cage. She's also a girl that loves to do spinning shit. When taken down, she looked awful against Melissa Mullins getting mounted. And I don't even know how Mullins didn't finish her, but Mullins does that a lot. Like she'll get the dominant position and somehow not finish. But she looked bad against Segula last time in round 3. Segula actually, Tim, took her down, and Segula's a striker. She took her down in round 3 and mounted her. It was a very, very bad look at the end of the fight. So, against that Kazakh girl that she lost, she had her back taken. She got mounted in that fight again. So she's very, very bad when she gets taken down if she's on bottom. She does have some good judo stuff like hip tosses, stuff like that, because she has a judo background. But like even if she takes Mesquita down, let's say she hip tosses her right to the ground, she's gonna get reversed and she's gonna end up or armbarred or something. She's gonna end up in a bad spot. And Alekseeva is not very smart when it comes to fight IQ. So I don't expect her to have a good game plan. I don't expect her to try to keep this on the feet. She's gonna engage in some type of grappling because she's that dumb. She does throw hard on the feet. I will give her that. Seems like she has decent power. Beatrice, not very good on the feet. How I played this, Tim, is fight ends in KO at plus 500. I don't know about Mesquita and if she could take punches, and I really don't know much. These BJJ girls are very, very hard to gauge as far as toughness and stuff like that. She's never really eaten many shots. Dinwiddie landed a little bit on her, but nothing big. Alekseeva does throw hard. She's a little bit bigger than her. She has decent pop with her hands. You saw what she did to Mullins' face. I think she dropped Mullins in that fight. But yeah, I think it most likely comes from Mesquita ground and pound, honestly. I've seen Alekseeva. She doesn't really when she's mounted, she doesn't give up her back. She'll just like try to block the punches or whatever. So hopefully it's just like raining elbows on her from mount and she gets finished. So the ends KO is plus 500 on Bally's. That's how I'm going to go. It's most likely going to be Beatrice sub. I don't see this fight hitting the scorecards whatsoever. Fight doesn't go is minus 260. Under 2.5 is minus 185. I think both of those have a little bit of value, honestly. I don't see this fight hitting the scorecards. I really don't. So yeah, let's move on. Fight number 5. It is in the heavyweight division. It is the 30-year-old Thomas Petersen, 6'1", 74-inch reach with a 10-3 record versus a 28-year-old Vitor Petrino, 6'2", 77-inch reach and a 12-2 record. I will kick this one off. At faceoffs, Petrino's same size, if not bigger than Thomas Petersen. He weighed in at 250 pounds. Didn't lose a lot of muscle, man. This guy is huge. I have no idea, Tim, how this guy made 205. I have no fucking clue. How much weight was this guy cutting? I do not know. Because he looks 250 of muscle right now. 250, but how the fuck are you getting to 205, dude? Like, where are you cutting? Where is it coming from? You know what I'm saying? I'm assuming he just like stopped lifting or something for like a while to lose some muscle. I don't know. But it's hard to envision that this guy has 45 pounds of like fat to lose or water weight, fat and water weight. I don't see it on his body, you know? So, but in this fight, you know, he's going to probably face takedown attempts against Thomas Petersen. You know, Thomas Petersen has a decent single leg takedown for heavyweight. Here's the issue here for Thomas Petersen, and hear me out here. I know people have said, you know, Petrino's been taken down by Turkowicz, blah, but Turkowicz is more athletic than a guy like Thomas Petersen. He's faster, you know, even though he's not very athletic, even though he's not fast, he's still much faster than Petersen. He's still more athletic than Petersen. Petersen's single legs and stuff like that compared to what Petrino's seen are going to be a lot slower because Petrino's coming from the light heavyweight division, right? Even though he's put on the weight, he's still going to be way more athletic. He's going to be faster. And he's going to see them coming more, you know, and I think he's going to be defending them easier here. I do think that there is going to be grappling at some point here. There has to be. Like, whether Petersen, you know, puts his head into a guillotine, I don't know. But I do see grappling here, and I see Petrino sub at plus 650. I know he got it last time. I hit it last time, and it was scary because he was going for ground and pound. But I'm going right back to the well against another guy that's going to try to grapple him in Thomas Petersen. And I think in those grappling sequences, I think Vitor Petrino is going to be a little more athletic. He's going to be a little bit better in the scrambles. And I think he might catch Thomas Petersen because Thomas Petersen, quite frankly, has not faced anybody that will threaten a submission against him. You know, like, look at these guys he's facing. None of these guys are threatening subs. Who is it? Dontel Mays? Muhammad Usman? Jamal Pogues? Like, none of these guys are going to threaten him with subs. So this is a guy that will probably threaten him with subs. So I'm going to take Petrino sub at plus 650. Maybe even something. Yeah, this might sound crazy. Maybe even like a Kimura. Maybe he gets taken down and ends up going for a Kimura and reverses, or actually gets the Kimura against a big guy. You know, what do you have here?
Yeah, I don't hate that Kimura look. I like the Kimura. I think that's a good power move that he could put, you know, one of those power subs that he could do. Clearly, I think he's got the physicality edge. I mean, Thomas Petersen was letting fucking Jamal Pogues up. Like, it's not like this dude is like, you know, takedown, you're just dead and you're on the ground, and he's got this incredible top time against you. So I think he did that against, you know, shitty-ass Dontel Mays. But, I mean, if Pogues is getting up against you, I think that Vitor Petrino, if he gets taken down, will get up and or reverse. I think he could take down Petersen himself. I mean, I hit as well on the Petrino sub last fight. I feel like with the Petrino, I got even Petrino when he got subbed by Anthony Smith at like a crazy line. I feel like this dude is like a before he started striking, he was more of a grappler. Like he's a striker, but like he did a bunch of grappling in pre UFC and then he fell in love with fucking knocking dudes out. So, and then after he gets knocked out a couple times, he's like, all right, well, I'm going to stop doing this shit. So or gets knocked out by, what's his face? Jacoby. Maybe I should go up a weight and start grappling these dudes. So I think heavyweight, if you can get takedowns against these guys, like you said, I think the athleticism gap here is pretty big. I do feel, even though he's going up, I just don't feel like Petersen's stronger. So yeah, I mean, sub for Petrino plus 650. I like the same thing. I think it could happen really any round, but I just feel like Thomas is kind of like the decision for Thomas and split decision for him. If you're on him, I instead of his money line, I feel like that's a better play. I feel like 6-1 and 16-1 if you're on Petersen I think that's more of his money line than. I don't think he's going to KO Petrino. He usually is just jabbing and trying to get in a range to get single legs. And I don't think that he's subbing Petrino. So I would like those. If you're on him, I'm not on him, but I think that those are better lines if you are on Petersen. But yeah, give me the same thing. I like the sub on Petrino as well. You're muted.
No, I was saying, sorry. I was saying I wouldn't touch his money line. I don't trust Petrino as well. You know, like he could get taken down and maybe do something stupid, lay on his back. Like who knows? You know, like he's not trustworthy to lay minus 300 against the guy that will try to grapple him. I do think Petersen's chin is very iffy, so he could probably blast him off, blast him away on the feet. So, all right. Let's move on. Fight number 6. It is in the flyweight division. It is the 29-year-old Clayton Carpenter, 5'6", 66-inch reach, 8-1 record, versus the 32-year-old Rafael Filho, 5'7", 68-inch reach, and a 16-4 record. Tim, this one's yours.
This is a really good fight. I'm excited for this fight. This is one of the best fights, I think, on the card, matchup-wise, stylistically, level-wise as well. Interesting to see where these guys are at. Filho, his last fight impressed me versus Nascimento. I honestly thought he was going to be just grapple fucked in that fight and be out physicaled by Nascimento. And he did really well. I mean, he actually had the fight in his hands if he didn't make mistakes. So, I mean, that fight was very winnable for him. So, you know, congrats to him on the loss, but I thought he had massive chances. I thought he was the money line side after, you know, in hindsight, but really, really good jiu-jitsu, good body lock takedowns and trips, which I think might work in this fight. I think his striking, I think he's got more power in his strikes, but I don't think he's got very much technicality in his striking. Doesn't really, not super high volume. I think he's kind of a little bit chinny on the feet. I think he can be hurt on the feet, but he typically will fight through it. Clayton Carpenter on the other side, I think he's more technical on standing. I think he's going to throw more volume, better kicks, good jiu-jitsu as well. Just more traditional wrestling and, you know, takedowns. I think his takedown defense against Tagir on single legs and single legs, double legs, just basic, like, you know, cage defense was good. But as soon as he got body locked, he was down. Like that's the kind of problem that I see with this fight, because that's pretty much what Rafael does as well. I think there's a cardio edge, decent cardio edge for Clayton. Round threes for Filho are a little bit shaky sometimes. And if it's heavy grappling, I think he tends to make mistakes in round 3 more than any other round. But yeah, I think this is a super close fight. And the way I see it is like end split plus 400, Carpenter round 3 plus 1600. I think those are good looks. I think if Carpenter gets a finish, it's when Rafael is super, super, super tired and they're having grappling back and forth I think if they're standing for a decent amount, I think probably bigger shots are coming from Filho. I just don't see. I mean, I'd be surprised if this fight is standing for, most of the fight. I feel like this is going to be in grappling sequences and or takedowns, battle in the clinch to see who's better, and then then it's just going to be super, super close. So, and split plus 400, Carpenter round 3 plus 1600, I think are good looks here. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, very, very good fight here. Two good grapplers. I do think Clayton is the better striker. He's more technical. I think he has better calf kicks. He's a little bit faster. He's more athletic. I think he's the better wrestler of the two. But once the fight hits the mat, I feel like Jafil is very, very dangerous on the mat, man. Super, super dangerous with his submissions. You need to be careful from sweeps. You need to be careful with anything, basically, on the ground. And I had a very big bet last time out against Alan Nascimento, against Jafil Filho, and Nascimento missed weight there. And honestly, Jafil Filho pretty much messed that fight up for himself. A couple of times he rushed some back takes, whatever, and ended up getting reversed and on bottom, and he got stuck there, and he was a little bit tired towards the end. But man, both those round 2 and 3 were very, very winnable rounds after Filho won round 1. And he goofed him up by kind of rushing a position or whatever. And I rate Alan Nascimento pretty high when it comes to grappling, jiu-jitsu. The guy is really, really good. And Filho almost submitted him in that fight. I believe it was round 1. So Filho is just super dangerous, man. And I do think that the athleticism and the scrambling ability from Carpenter is going to come in handy for him here. I like fight ends in sub, guys, because I think both guys are kind of live to get a submission. Carpenter is not a slouch on the ground. He's really good as well. Fight ends in sub is plus 230 on Bally's. The other bet that I like, and you mentioned it, I like Carpenter sub 3, Tim, 22-1, because I do think that Filho is probably going to try to, if he's tired, he's going to try to grapple and put himself in some stupid submission, because the way he tapped to Mokaev with a submission that wasn't even under the chin, it was like a neck crank. He tapped mainly because he was tired too. But then you go back a couple of fights and he did the same thing and tapped to Luan Mateus in round 3 because he was tired as well. So that could happen here, where he's tired. Clayton has very, very good cardio. He's got better cardio of the two. So yeah, I mean, I was leaning, I thought I was very close to playing Carpenter. I just didn't like what you said. There was times that he was getting taken down pretty easy with body locks, and Filio's pretty strong, man. He is pretty strong if he grabs a hold of you. So I decided to pass on the fight and sprinkle a little bit of that fight ends in sub, because I think there's going to be a lot of grappling in this fight. And if you tell me there's a lot of grappling with a guy like Filho who's super dangerous, I'm going to have to click 230. I think both guys are live to maybe find a finish, on the mat. All right, let's move on. Fight number 7. It is in the featherweight division. It is the 34-year-old Lucas Almeida, 5'11", 71-inch reach, and a 15-4 record, versus the 25-year-old Michael Aswell, 5'8", 69-inch reach, and a 10-3 record. This one's yours, Tim.
Yeah. So, did I go first last time? Yeah, I went first last time. You did.
Oh yeah, because we started opposite. I saw number 7, and I thought automatically it's you. Because okay, let me go here. So really quick, Lucas Almeida, I had a bet on him at plus 140. Okay, there's all this Twitter stuff. Hand might be messed up. Right hand might be messed up. I look at the weigh-in. I go back to the live weigh-in. I go to the ceremonial weigh-in, and there's a lot of red flags. The first red flag is you see him get on the scale and he's literally not moving his right hand. He's right-handed. He's doing everything with his left. He's holding a cross in his left hand as well, right? A rosary. He goes to the face-offs, Tim, and you could see his right hand is down. They facing off, and then he just does a fist bump with the left hand. I mean, you're right-handed, for Christ's sake. Nobody really goes with the opposite hand to do a fist bump. Nobody. Tell me that you would just go to a random person or face-off or whatever, and you would use your non-dominant hand to fist bump. Nobody does that. You're just not going to do it, right? The other thing that stuck out is he didn't even flex. He didn't pound his chest. I went back and watched all of his other weigh-ins in the UFC. Every single time he would pound his chest with his right hand and he would flex. Didn't do it at all. Didn't do it at all at the original weigh-in and the ceremonial weigh-in, right? The other thing I want to tell people is go back and look at the poster signing, guys. He's signing a poster in one of his Instagram. I put in my Discord, Tim. You saw that. That hand is fucked up. I mean, he cannot even hold the pen. That marker, he's not holding it correctly. Because I literally went back and compared his other poster signings to that one, and he was holding the marker completely different. I'm like, okay, this is confirming to me that this guy's hand is fucked up. It's not right, So yeah, man, that hand is either broken, or I'm gonna go on a limb because I've had my hand broken before. That is a broken hand for me. Something's broken. Some bone is broken in there. The line has absolutely ballooned. It's minus 242 now. It went from minus 160 to minus almost $1 because all the news came out. So my thinking here is maybe the UFC, this big line move, they might pull this fight, honestly. We could come tomorrow morning and see that they have pulled this fight. But when I'm looking at the fight without all this other outside noise, Tim, I thought Aswell was too big of a favorite here. I didn't think he was deserved of the favorite because I think Almeida can land the bigger shots. I think Almeida has more weapons on the feet. I think, in the clinch, he's better than Aswell. He has good leg kicks when he uses them, and he has more power than Aswell. So it's like Aswell has the volume. Aswell has the cardio and forward pressure, but Lucas has faced that already. Danny Silva used forward pressure and volume, Zellhuber used a lot of that against him, but those guys hit harder than Aswell. Those guys have other weapons. Aswell just never kicks, never goes for takedowns. Like there's nothing else to worry about but his hands, right? So now we ended up with this fucking mess here, right? And how do we find a Lambo play now? Like this is the thing now. And honestly, the more I thought about it, a one-handed fighter, Tim, being his dominant hand, the right hand, where he likes to throw big shots with it, I mean, he's not going to be able to throw big shots with a broken hand. And he's not going to be able to muster power because you can't even clinch your fist really well, He's going to eat a lot of shots here, in my opinion. He's going to be one-handed. He doesn't grapple ever on his tape. I don't see him taken down as well. So it's like forward pressure, lots of volume. I think he might break Almeida, honestly. And especially with the pain in the hand, there's also a scenario where he just might complain of the pain and instead of getting knocked out, just quit on the stool. I could see that scenario. I think he's a dog. Don't get me wrong. I think Almeida has a good chin and he's a dog. But I'm going to go with Aswell 2-3 KO here. It's 750. I did not like this at all, by the way. Here, let me preface this by saying that I don't think Aswell can knock this guy out. I'll say that right now. But with this injury, there's many scenarios that he can just fucking quit maybe, It's a bad... I'm looking at that hand. It does not look right, dude. It does not look right. I don't care what anybody tells me. I went back and compared poster signings, everything, and I'm pretty damn sure his hand is broken. So, yeah, I mean, take it for what it may, but I was on the Almeida side. I cashed out. I liked his decision prop a lot at like plus 460, but I got out of all my positions, and now a little bit on Aswell 2-3 KO. Tim?
Yeah, I mean, we're on this exactly the same way. Like I had to scribble mine out. I had Lucas points split before and split. I thought this was like a very splitty type volume versus bigger shots type of fight. Early rounds versus later rounds and cardio type of fight before all the hand shit. I mean, like it looks like just a clear like metatarsal break. It just looks like you just have that huge like it. If you look at the hand that's on his left chest, it's way bigger than that. So it's clearly way swollen. So he's got that tattoo right there in his chest. It's like if you look at his hand there, it's twice that size. So that's how I judged it. Yeah, I mean it's the same thing for me. I never would have been on Michael Aswell by KO. He seems a little bit pillow fisted. He just volumes guys up. Super simple to read. He's just throwing 1-2s constantly and just keeps walking forward and gets hit himself. So I thought it was a good fight. And it was a close fight before all the hand shit. But I mean, it's the same thing. It's just like if he throws like a head kick and he's got to like throw a left kick to his head, he's got to fucking block it with his right hand. There's no way, like there's no way that he can do it. Like you just keep making him block shit, throw body kicks, make him block it with his hand. Otherwise, you're gonna hit certain spots that are attacking that right side and make him defend with it, and you'll see immediately if the guy can do anything. Of course, this being said, he's gonna probably come out and just like throw like nuke right hands in the first 20 minutes or first 2 minutes. We're gonna all be like, what the fuck's happening? But yeah, I'm on the same one with you. KO is plus 380, KO 2-3, plus 750 as you said, plus 1300 for 2, plus 1900 for 3. I'm probably not going to bet anything in this fight, and if I do bet, it's going to be very, very, very small. So, kind of a stay away.
Yeah. I mean, it's a weird scenario. All right, let's move on. Here we are, fight number 8. It is in the featherweight division. It is the 30-year-old Ricardo Ramos, 5'9", 72-inch reach, 17-7 record, versus the 32-year-old Khan Ofli, 5'7", 66-inch reach, 11-4-1 record. Tim, this one's yours.
I promise everybody I'm not going to do any of these, Ofli jokes this week. I just can't do it anymore. They were awfully really good though when I did them. I just want to let everybody know they were there, but the joke is old. Everybody knows this guy's not good. I don't think he's that good, honestly. I don't feel like he's good striker. Don't feel like he's got really good physicality. Jiu-jitsu is just okay. I feel like Ramos is better everywhere in this fight, except for like, I mean, being a fighter, this is kind of important. So skill for skill, I think he's better skill for skill. I don't think that Ramos is a guy that fights through adversity. And if you show him the door, he'll go right through it. And I just feel like, I just don't know that Khan Ofli is going to present the nail, be the nail to Ricardo Ramos in this fight where other guys do. I feel like Ramos is striking is kind of flashy, definitely better kicks, but he's going to throw a bunch of spinning shit as well here. So might be a little bit closer on the feet than I'm giving him credit for, but I just feel like skill for skill, he's better everywhere. I definitely feel like wrestling and takedowns for Ramos are live here. And I feel like if the fight does hit the ground and he's on top, I do feel like back take and sub is super, super live. So I'm going to go Ramos by sub plus 430 and bid very small on it. I don't like betting on this guy, and I definitely don't like betting on Khan Ofli. So Ramos sub would be my only play in this situation.
Yeah, I mean, this might be the hot take of the week for me. I don't think anybody's on this play, but I am not a guy that likes Ramos. I think this guy's a quitter. I think that, Culibao win is like the biggest bullshit win ever because of how stupid Culibao was. Like there was a finish right in front of him and he fucked it up multiple times where he lost position, got taken down by a one-legged fighter. Like this guy couldn't even stand on his leg and somehow won that decision by split because of how stupid Culibao was in that fight. Then you look at those two guillotines, Jourdain and Rocha, like very, very quick. He almost melted against Chepe Mariscal. Mariscal was putting it on him in that fight. And quite frankly, Tim, like his wins, I don't even count the Culibao win. It was just like idiotic. Like he just doesn't have many good wins, man. His best win was years and years ago against Ayman Zahabi in 2017. After that, I don't even know what his best win is. Is it Bill Algeo? 2021, maybe?
Probably.
Because he lost to Tugugov. He got killed by Laron Murphy in round 1. You know, and I'm not saying Ofli is very good, right? He lost to Naimov last time out. I thought it was a bad matchup for him, honestly, Naimov, because Naimov is very, very strong in a clinch. He's a good grappler himself, wrestler. So he had a lot of trouble taking Naimov down. He's just too strong for him in the clinch, you know, and I think that fight was actually a lot closer than people thought. Like it wasn't like a complete blowout by Naimov, but Naimov won comfortably, right? The one before that, Marion Santos, just another terrible matchup. An athletic, very, very fast, good takedown defense, scrambler, blah, blah, blah. Marion Santos. It was just a bad matchup. But when you look at this contender series, dude, like he did really well against Nathan Fletcher, like grappling him easily. Nathan Fletcher's not that easy to grapple, you know, and he grappled him easily in that fight. He choked that other guy. I think he's the better wrestler of the two here. And it's not close even, to be honest. I think he's a much better wrestler than Ramos. And I honestly, on the feet, I think he's a lot more durable than Ramos. I don't like how Ramos reacts to punches, Tim. And Ofli only has 1 KO in his career, but he just dropped a lot of people. If you look at his regional tape, he throws very hard. He hurt Naimov in that fight. I think it was round 2. He made Naimov do the stinky leg. He hurt him with a big shot. If he lands that same shot against Ramos, I think he knocks him out. I think Ofli by KO at 11-1 is very, very good in my opinion. He's going to throw big shots. He has power in his hands. I'm telling you guys, don't look at his record. He grapples a lot, but he might not grapple a lot in this fight. And I think on the feet, he's very, very live to clip Ramos. Ramos is a defensive liability on the feet. He gets clipped a lot. And I think he can get clipped right here against Con Ofli. Maybe he goes for a takedown, Ramos. It's possible, but I don't think he gets Ofli down. I think Ofli stuffs those. So, you know, he does have the spinning bullshit, spinning elbows. Somehow he lands them all the time and spinning kicks and stuff. Maybe he can land those again. He is at the Fighting Nerds, but, you know, he was at the Fighting Nerds last fight, and I don't think it helped him. He looked like dog shit against Chepe Mariscal. So he got dominated in that fight. So, yeah, I mean, for me, at the end of the day, 11-1 on a guy that's going to swing. I'm telling you, he's going to swing. He has power. I'm going to, and by the way, he's a new dad, and he's going to have that dad strength, Tim, the dad power. So be careful. But yeah, I don't know. I think he can knock out Ricardo. Ramos to me is like an overrated fighter, man. He really is. He does a lot of nice spinning shit, but this guy, he should be on a 4-fight losing streak. That's the truth. If it wasn't for idiotic Josh Culibao, he's on a 4-fight losing streak here. So, I mean, those are better fighters than Ofli, but he still should have been on a 4-fight losing streak. All right, what do we got here in chat? Ramos spinning elbow. It's the year of the spinning elbow. Yeah, I mean, that's possible. He throws it a lot. Marion Santos on tough was a little baby and won against Ofli. Was not impressed. I mean, 23 is a little baby now? Come on now. Marion Santos, didn't he fight right after that and won? Hold on a second. Marion Santos is only 25, guys. And he just beat Sadiq Youssef. Like, May 17th. So before, he was actually 24. So at 23, he beat this guy, but at 24, he beat Sadiq Youssef pretty convincingly too. So I don't know. I think he has a lot of experience for a 23-year-old. Let's say that. Marion Santos got a ton of fights. So yeah, I mean, I'm just not a Ricardo Ramos guy, man. I don't think the nerd should have never took this guy. He's not a nerd because he's not tough, he's not durable, he's none of those. But yeah, let's move on here. What do we got? Okay. Next fight. It is in the heavyweight division. It is the 27-year-old Mario Pinto, 6'5", 79-inch reach with a 10-0 record versus the 34-year-old Johanata Diniz, 6'4", 79-inch reach and a 9-1 record. We have striker versus striker in the heavyweight division here. Both guys are technical, right? Both guys are technical strikers. I do think Pinto is going to hold a little bit of a speed advantage, a little bit of more of an athleticism advantage, right? But everything else is kind of similar, right? Both guys are strikers. They like to throw hands. They like to kick a little bit. Their measurables are very, very same, 6'5" to 6'4", same reach. But I do think there is a huge advantage for Diniz here, and that's in the durability department. I don't think Pinto's that durable. I've seen him dropped against Lane. I saw him dropped against Sehech. He's been hurt in the other fight against that Kapkopar guy or whatever. I don't like his durability. I think his durability is not very good. And to not have good durability as heavyweight it's a very bad sign. He is facing a big hitter in Diniz. The problem I have with Diniz is he takes his time. He doesn't throw many shots, right? But here's the key here. I think he's going to land a good amount of big leg kicks. I've seen Pinto leg kicked quite often in one fight. I forgot which one it was. And I think Diniz is going to kick his legs pretty often here. At the end of the day, I think it's a close fight. It's a closely lined fight. I think it is a close fight. I like the Diniz side. I'm going to go Diniz decision at plus 340. I'm going to go Diniz by split decision at 12-1. And I just think the fight end split is not bad in general at 6-1. So go ahead, Tim. What do you like here?
I have end split at plus 550. Yeah, I feel like that's a good spot. You're going to get two heavyweights doing their thing, striking, no grappling, unless there's monster moments. I feel like it's going to be just kicks and a lot of staying safe. And if somebody gets some big moments, I feel like it's more likely that Diniz gets the bigger moments and or doesn't react as badly if Pinto does connect on him. Fucking Diniz got his fucking shit pushed in versus Tybura, and he was upset about the stoppage. So I just feel like he's just got a little bit more dog in him than Pinto does. I feel like also Pinto kind of he fights with a little bit too much swag in there sometimes and just fucks around. So yeah, I like end split for me. If I was on a side, I would be on Diniz decision as well. I like that. The decision split for him is good as well, but I like just the end split for me.
All right, let's move on. Fight number 10. It is in the welterweight division. It is the 33-year-old Vicente Luque, 5'11", 76-inch reach, 23-11-1 versus the 32-year-old Joel Alvarez, 6'3", 77-inch reach, and a 22-3 record. Tim, kick us off here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to give a few whisper bets on this one. This obviously is a dumb money line, but it's just based on what we've seen from Luque recently. Dude just seems to be unbelievable that they medically clear this guy to fight with all the shit that he's got going on. Alvarez going up in weight class in this fight for the first time, massive at 155. Now he's fighting 170. If if you're Luque in this fight, like you're almost instantaneously shooting takedowns because Alvarez has like a 0% takedown defense and will fight off of his back. And pretty much if he stands for long, we've seen basically how he's reacting to punches. This happens all the time with these fighters that are durable and can't be finished, and then they get finished for the first time, and then everybody's finishing them. So to me, I feel like it's Joel sub plus 180. My whisper bets of the night: the Darce plus 2,500, the Anaconda plus 5,000, the Ninja Choke plus 10,000. I think it's a front choke. I think it's probably a Darce or an Anaconda, but yeah, I feel like he's going to catch him in on one of these takedowns, and or just in getting up, he'll catch him. So yeah, I feel like give me Joel sub and one of those beautiful, nice long props.
Yeah, I didn't like anything here, honestly. I think Joel can knock him out. I think Joel can sub him. I don't know. Luque's chin looks dust to me. It really does. I don't think his chin is there anymore. Maybe like a club and sub from Joel. But I don't love, honestly, I don't like anything. I wrote down sub plus 180. I don't know. It could be a KO, to be honest. The lines are shit.
Just play those front chokes, Just go
Yeah,
back to those.
I mean, the lines are absolute shit. And KO and sub are shit. If I was to play Luque, I'd probably play Luque by decision, honestly. What's his decision? Prop.
1,000 probably. I'll be guessing.
No, yeah, you're right. 1,200. I would play that instead of Luque money line. I don't think he finishes Alvarez. I think Alvarez is actually super tough. The times he was finished was a cut against
Arman.
Sarukian, and the other one was, I think it was a head kick or something he got knocked out with. That's it. He's not easy. He's never been subbed. I think he's super tough. And at this point, I don't even think Luque's power is not the same. He's just not the same fighter. I don't care what anybody says. This guy's not the same fighter. So, yeah, I mean, I don't like anything here, to be honest. The sub, but reluctantly, I didn't even play it. I'll tell you guys straight up. I played nothing on this fight. Maybe I'll play those long shot props, but I don't even have MGM, so I'm probably not going to play them. But yeah, let's move on here. Co-main event of the night. It is in the bantamweight division. It is the 33-year-old Montel Jackson, 5'10", 75-inch reach, 15-2 record, versus the 35-year-old Davison Figueiredo, 5'5", 68-inch reach, 24-5-1 record. And I will kick this one off here. I was actually shocked to see Montel Jackson plus 310 on the KO line. Just because, Figueiredo's getting older. He just came off a tear in his, I've never heard of this, anterior ligament, something, ALL it's called. That's what he tore in his leg. And that was in May. And I'm like, wait. I just looked at that. I'm like, wait. Just before we got on air, I'm like, wait a second. He tore his thing in May 3rd, and it's October 11th, and he's fighting again? This is crazy. You're talking about 5 months. He's fighting again. And I'm like, let me go back and look. He didn't have surgery. They just rehabbed. I guess it's a rehab thing. But I did see him wearing a brace in some of his IG, right, on that leg. So is it back to 100%? I don't know. I will say that at weigh-ins, I didn't think he was in okay shape. I didn't think it was Davison Figueiredo shape. Let's say that. I didn't think he was chiseled like he normally is, right? But here's my thing here, Tim. I gave out plus 310 on the KO, right? And when you dig a little bit deeper on this fight, right? I like Davison Figueiredo by sub a lot at 13-1. Okay, 13-1 on submission here, and hear me out here. Davison Figueiredo has faced some really, really good grapplers, good defensive grapplers, good guys that are on the ground. Look at these guys: Rob Font, Marlon Vera, Peter Yan, Corey Sanhagen, Brandon Moreno, right? And he even subbed Brandon Moreno, by the way. Or no, it's Brandon Moreno subbed him, right? No, Brandon Moreno, Alex Perez, who he subbed. He subbed Cody Garbrandt, right? He subbed Joseph Benavidez, right? My point is, I've seen Montel Jackson time and again put himself in submissions. Now, the other thing is, Marcos is not a grappler, and last time out I played Marcos's takedown ladders because I knew he could take down Jackson's takedown defense is very bad, very fucking bad. He puts his legs together, he can easily get dragged down. He's got no hips. He's athletic, yes, but he gets taken down. Okay, and Marcos is not a submission grappler. Like he's a striker. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to expect that from him. But when I went back and watched Brett Johns and the amount of times he had his back, he had a rear naked choke in, he had an arm bar one time. And then I watched Felipe Colares get guillotined over and over, these deep guillotines. He's getting them over and over against Montel Jackson, bro. And it's like, and I'm like, hold on a second. If Davison Figueiredo puts him in that guillotine and it's in, he is fucked. He is going to be fucked. I don't care how big his hands are. He's going to be fucked. And so 13-1. Here's the thing. Davison Figueiredo has been grappling lately, bro. Like, you go back and look at his stats. He's been grappling lately. He's not going to strike. He's not going to strike with fucking Montel Jackson. He's at a severe height and reach disadvantage. Huge. He's going to grapple. I'm pretty sure he's going to get a takedown or 2 or 3. Jackson always likes to give up his back when he's getting up. Figueiredo is really good at back takes. I don't know. 13-1 is insane to me. So I didn't hear anybody mention this all week, but Figueiredo is so live to get a sub. I'm telling you. I don't know why it's 13-1. I don't understand. But I will say the KO on Jackson's very live as well at 310. I don't know why it's 310. It's too big. I think he's going to – if Figueiredo doesn't get a sub, I think he's going to get knocked out. He's going to be very tired, by the way, if he's grappling a lot and doesn't get it. And there's potential Jackson can knock him out. But Jackson does get tired as well. So the sub is just one that caught my eye. 13-1 is just way too – this is probably the best overall, like, wrestler / jiu-jitsu guy that Jackson's faced in a long time. I mean, Yaya is the best jiu-jitsu guy, but Yaya can't grapple for shit, can't wrestle, right? Brett Johns can, wrestle, but his jiu-jitsu is not on Figueiredo's level. So that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. He's never been subbed. Don't get me wrong. He's never been subbed. But there's always time for a first.
Yeah, dude. We are 2 peas in a pod on this one. I had exactly those props. I feel like, dude, if JP Buys is getting you down after being knocked down fucking 4 times in a fight, and like Daniel Marcos is getting you down 3 times fucking easily, like easily, there's just no way that you can't say that Davison can get him down here. Add the fact that it's not like Montel is a huge, like, is he dangerous? Of course he's dangerous. But the dude throws like 3.22 strikes per minute. Like, everybody's talking about how Davison is like super, super low. Davison's like 2.82 strikes per minute. Like, these guys are like the 2 of the lowest volume fucking strikers of all time. They both can kill you with one shot. But these guys they're gonna stare at each other for a while. Like, that's what's gonna happen. Like, they're gonna stare. Montel's gonna throw a huge shot, probably be able to be taken down or clinched. Davison historically can take a pretty big shot. Like, it's just, I'm not saying that I don't like the 310, but I like the fucking 12-1 or 13-1 way, way, way more. I feel like they're both super, super live. So I feel like I'm going to probably play very, 25% bet on the KO and then 75% bet. And if the KO happens, I lose my money, or I break even. If decision happens, I lose money. But I just feel like, like you said, dude, I just feel like the back take here is like very, very high percentage if he gets him down, like very, very high percentage, or like advance. If he doesn't get up immediately, advance to position to where he's going to have to give up his back.
Montel is not. I don't think he's very versed with like actual BJJ. I think he's
100%.
Like, probably a good, decent like scrambler wrestler because he's so athletic, and he's got those huge paws that he like grabs one. Like literally, there was one sequence with Brett Johns, because I went back that far because I'm like, let me see. Johns had the rear naked choke in deep underneath Montel Jackson's neck. It was literally in, and Montel was trying to hold this with one arm, but with his other fucking paw, he had the other arm just fucking grabbed, and Johns couldn't bring his other arm to put it behind, and he just held it there the entire time until he peeled this one off. So he's got such huge hands that, probably not going to be easy, but he also has a very long neck that you can get under, for a guy like Figueiredo. So,
like you said, nobody's
Brandon or not. It probably is. I'm assuming it is, but who knows with all these fucking trolls. But he says Figgy's BJJ. Yeah, man, his BJJ is so good, man.
It's so much better than everybody that he's ever fought. It's just so much better.
Yeah,
it's not close.
And I just don't see a scenario where Davidson's just standing. Maybe he's kicking the legs a little bit of Montel, but he's not going to stand with him. It would be idiotic to stand with Montel.
Yeah, and again, it's super, super low volume on this dude, and he's going to throw 15 strikes in a round, every round, and then he might land a few, but it's like Davidson's not a dude that's easy to fucking KO with one shot. I'm sure he's older. I understand he's up a weight class. I understand Montel. It's extremely, extremely hard, but I just don't feel like it's going to be like one shot and Davidson's dead. It's not.
Yeah, I kind of think honestly, the money, I was thinking of playing Figueiredo plus 280, but with the injury, the age, the chin, I was like, I can't do it, man.
Yeah.
And he did part of his camp in the Fighting Nerds. He went there to do some of it. So I don't know. They've been on a big downslide. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing because all their fighters have been losing, but I mean, it is what it is. He's been training a lot with his brother, I seen. So, all right, Tim, before we go on to the main event, 486 live viewers. We have 203 on YouTube, 280 on X. Appreciate all of you. Can you please, I know the people on X can't do it right off of X, but just jump into YouTube really quick and hit the like. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to it. Even though, from Twitter, you can't, just hop into YouTube really fast, subscribe, and you can go back to the Twitter. I appreciate it because the algorithm, the likes, the comments, all that counts for the channel to move up. We're getting more and more subscribers, which is a really good thing. I think we're at like 3.15 now or 3.14, which is not bad. We're moving on up. We're getting a good deal of likes, comments. So we appreciate all of you. I appreciate all the support that I get from everybody. So, and it keeps us going, man. It keeps us coming back and doing this thing and hopefully helping you guys with some of these picks, whether it be you guys are playing the props, whether it's you guys are playing the money lines, or just listening to the actual breakdowns and maybe making you decide one way or the other based on the breakdown. So, with that being said, there's also my Discord down below, $25 a month. The link is down below. Believe me, it's worth it. We got a bunch of boxing bets this week. We got some LFA bets today, and we have some UFC bets as well. Also, the links down below for Bet Online, Bet 105, they're all down below. If you don't have them, you need those offshores. Trust me, they're really good. Line shopping, stuff like that. It's good to have. So, with that being said, Tim, let's move on to the main event of the night, and it is in the lightweight division. It is the 35-year-old Charles Oliveira, 5'10", 74-inch reach, 35-11 record, versus the 34-year-old, 5'10", 70-inch reach, 25-3, Matthias Gamrot. And kick us off here, Tim. Main event, Charles Oliveira, Matthias Gamrot. I know where you're going.
Yeah, you know my favorite. This is my favorite fighter, guys. So I am for sure biased. This is my favorite fighter of all time. Can Charles win a decision, Dixon? Yes, he can. I feel like Charles gets the finish here in round 2, 3, or 4. I do feel like I just said to Dixon, I do feel like he could win a decision as well. I mean, I just feel like this fight is a really good spot, a really good fight in general. Super excited for it. Matthias Gamrot is a very good fighter, just a pressure grappler, and he's going to be just doing those ankle pick takedowns. It's just something that you just don't see hardly ever from guys. It's really hard to train for him because just there's not a lot of guys who are proficient at his way of taking guys down. And I don't know, man. I just feel like the narrative on Charles is, the thing that I'm worried about most is he's coming back off 3 months, 4 months of just getting sent to another fucking universe by Ilia Topuria. Like I feel like that's the biggest concern. The people that are talking about like this fight, like these chins the chins on these guys are not comparable. I'm not understanding that like at all. Like the last time before Topuria knocked him out that Charles got finished was 2017. Like, does he get knocked down? Yeah, he's gotten knocked down like 5 times or four times, in his last 5 years or whatever. Matthias Gamrot's been knocked down 5 times since 2020, and in way, way, way less fights against fucking the only super, super dangerous striker that gets tons of knockdowns was Jalen Turner. Got knocked down by Beneil, got knocked down by the corpse of fucking RDA, got knocked down by shit sandwich fucking Guram. Like, everybody's knocking this guy down. Like, and I'm just not seeing the durability aspect of like that both of these guys don't have durability issues. And I feel like both of these guys in a situation where Charles normally gets knocked down and the only guy who jumps into his guard after he knocks him down is Islam to sub him. That's the only fighter that really will go into his guard and go down with him in these moments. So he normally gets knocked down and he just takes his rest, and tactically it's a fucking genius move. And I feel like Matthias will go down with him if he knocks him down, and that's fine. But I also feel like nobody's doing that to Gamrot either. I don't feel like anybody's knocking down Gamrot in these fights and then immediately going down on top of him to attack. And I feel like if Charles knocks him down, he's instantly going to go for the kill and go for the attack. So I think that's different for both of these guys. I think the fight, when it hits the ground, I feel that Charles he was able to get up versus Islam. He was able to use a leg lock entanglement to get up and then clinch him up. And then he got knocked down and then subbed in that fight. So I feel like he's been able to reverse guys he's not just like lay and pray on his back and just be able to like try to throw up fucking triangles and all that shit. He's like trying to throw up these subs so that he can reverse you and sweep you and or actually sub you. So Gamrot to me doesn't have monster striking. He throws good volume to try to get into range to be able to ankle pick you. But it's not like huge power. I don't think that there's like tremendous power and knockout ability unless Charles is completely dust. At this point, the guys that are knocking down Charles have power. Dustin Poirier, fucking Chandler, Gaethje, Islam, they're knocking dudes down. I mean, like Islam knocked down Volk twice and knocked him out once. Like Gaethje, we all know. Poirier, we all know. Chandler, we all know. Like these guys fucking knock everybody down. I don't know that Gamrot has that power. I feel like the Dan Hooker fight and the Beneil fight versus Gamrot are bullish for me for Oliveira. Like just Hooker's defending with front chokes. He's defending with front chokes and immediately reversing and getting up and getting space, having pretty good chokes in actually. And I feel like if Mateus is going to repeatedly reach for an ankle and put his head down there, I feel like Charles, it's similar to what we were just talking about with Davison. It's like, who's got the most dangerous squeeze and subs that Gamrot has fought so far? And the answer is Charles Oliveira. So it's just like, it's got to be Oliveira for me. Oliveira by sub plus 300. Round 2, round 3, round 4, 750, 1100, 1600. I think he catches him in a club and sub or catches him on an entry at some point in the fight. And War do Bronx. Let's go.
Yeah. You didn't mention one thing that's very, very important.
Short notice.
No. Yeah, I mean, it is short notice. Yeah, but I'm not saying no to that. Mateus Gamrot has a ton of fights in the UFC. 0 submission attempts against. He's never faced a submission attempt. So he's probably going to face 1 or 2 here, honestly, against Charles Oliveira. Like, he's going to grapple. He has to grapple. And I think might get hairy for him on the ground, honestly. I could see him maybe getting a guillotine, maybe getting an armbar. I mean, there's a lot of ways I think he can find a sub here, to be honest. And at the end of the day, this guy, Gamrot, he's a good wrestler. Don't get me wrong. Very, very good grappler in general. Not easy. It's not going to be easy to sub him, first of all. I don't think it's going to be easy to sub him at all. But Charles is probably going to have his chances here, you know. Maybe even, honestly, Tim, I see a scenario where it's a club and sub too. You know, maybe he can hurt him on the feet. And what's this guy's go-to? He's going to shoot. He's going to try to grapple. And I think when he tries to grapple, he's, you know, could put himself in danger when he's hurt, you know. So for me, I like Charles Oliveira by sub as well at plus 300. I'm not in love with it. Don't get me wrong. I thought the price would be way, way better than 300. But yeah, I mean, it's 300. I don't mind it either. But yeah, let's move on here, Tim. We have our parlay, Lambo parlay segment. You want to start us out here because I have 2 of them. You want to start or you want me to start?
That's fine. I can go.
Right, go ahead.
I have Luan Lacerda by decision. I have Rocha by decision. I have Bia by sub. And I have Joel inside the distance at 78 to 1. And then if you switch Rocha and Nicoll by sub, it's 68 to 1.
Wait, repeat those again.
Luan decision, Lacerda decision, Rocha decision, Bia sub, Joel inside the distance.
Okay.
And then I just switched the Rocha.
How much is the first one?
What's that? The first one is 78 to 1 with Rocha. If you switch Rocha and Nicoll to Nicoll sub, it's 68 to 1.
Okay. Nicoll sub instead of
Rocha
decision?
Yeah.
68 to 1?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I will give 2. First one is the submission special. It's Nicoll submission, Filho submission, Mesquita submission. It's 52 to 1. If you add Charles Oliveira, it will make it 212 to 1 at the submission props. The second one is my 2-3 special. It's going to be Polastri 2-3 mixed in with Aswell 2-3. Those are going to be 131 to 1 all the way up to 254 to 1. Tim, we did it, all 12 fights. Appreciate everybody. 489 live viewers. Please hit the like, subscribe to the channel. I might actually do a final bell. I haven't done one in a while on X Spaces tomorrow. Maybe go over some props, some significant strikes, takedowns, stuff that I like. I might do it for tomorrow, most likely like early 10 a.m. my time, which would be like 1 Eastern. So thank you, everybody. Appreciate you all. And let's cash those tickets for UFC Rio.